Oh, hey there, and welcome to Teaching Tuesday. Today we are going to discuss something within the diminished scale and the diminished framework, if you will. I started out with a riff, a Wes Montgomery riff on the tune Missile Blues, and that's a little diminished run he does at the end of the blues, and I'm going to go over basically that little lick there and a few variations of that. So we're gonna take let's get right into it. We're gonna just take our basic diminished shape. So I started here with basically a C diminished. So we got C, F sharp, A, and D sharp, and we're starting on the upbeat, so we're going and one. Oh, sorry. Okay, so basically we're like going up the scale. We're just basically going up a diminished scale. So we're going like but we're doing it with chords. So we're going, and that works because the diminished scale is like a parallel scale, if that makes any sense. So basically all the notes we're playing are in the diminished scale. There's not any chromatic notes. All of these notes are in the diminished scale. So we take our first chord, and then we move it up by a half step. Then we move it up by a whole step. And that's the pattern. We go, and if I were to continue on this string, but we're gonna take it up to that string. So, if you don't know your basic diminished shapes, definitely check that out. But yeah, so that's basically the shape. And then at the end, this is a little kind of tangent side trick. I'm not sure if this is actually what Wes is playing, but I like the sound of this. So it's basically like an F13 with a 9 at the top, and then this is basically like a G flat 13 flat 9, and then a G13. But the trick is I'm not playing the bass note, so I'm not playing the F sharp, and G, because that's just really hard. And I'm also, so we're also like leaving that G. The thing that makes it sound cool is it's like we keep the G on the top. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Count Basie thing, which would be more like something like that, which I'm not going to get too into. But anyways, I'll go over this little trick. So we have F13, so we have E flat, A, D, G, and then E natural, B flat, E flat, G, and then F, B, E, and G. That's a tangent. That's not really what this lesson is about, but it is a very cool trick. And I will write it out on the PDF on the Patreon, so you can check it out there. So what I really want to get into is this is like a famous Wes Montgomery / like guitar trick that people like to pull out, like a little party trick, if you will. But a couple cool variations on this are things that I'm interested in talking to you guys about. So instead of just playing this like regular diminished chord, well, step one is we can just take out the fourth string. And then when we get, I like the sound of that better because you don't have the tritone and it gives you a more open sound. There's a bigger interval between the first and the second note. So that's just a place to start there. So if you didn't catch that, we're just taking out the second note of the chord, like starting from the bass. So instead of, we just have just a 3-note chord, right? And then, so we have that. Now we can even make it simpler. We can take out the bass note entirely. Or actually, sorry. let me take that back. We're going to just kind of structure it a little bit different. So we're actually going to take that fourth string, we're going to put it back in, and we're going to take out the other two notes. So we're going to take out the fifth string and the third string. So then we just have a sixth, basically. Kenny Burrell actually kind of messes around with that sound quite a bit, but I'm sure a lot of other guitar players do, and that's kind of a cool, you can just kind of mess with that. Some cool little things to mess around with. And then here's the thing that I really wanted to get to, which is the kind of major 7 diminished. So this is the real cool party trick to pull out, and I'll just play it first so it'll sound like, or just the riff itself without the ending. Right? So what we're doing there is, instead of this diminished, this shape, we're actually just taking the third string, which is the 6th, and moving it 2 frets up to a 7th, and then you get this shape. And basically what it is a, and you can look at it in a few different ways, but you have like a major triad, and like the 5th, the root, and the 3rd, so the second inversion or whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to put like the flat 9 of that triad. So instead of like a regular major chord, we put the flat 9 in the bottom. So that's what gives it that real crunchy sound. And we can do that same trick with that new voicing. So we go, and the same logic still applies. So we can, move in that same pattern, that half whole pattern. So we just move a half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, and then we go. All right, so that's our little lesson. Diminished is just kind of like a crazy scale. There's so many cool patterns and triads and amazing things you can do with it. So I'm just shedding a little bit of light into one little party trick that you can take away from the diminished scale. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. As always, you can find the full video on YouTube if you're not watching this YouTube, and you can find the PDF on the Patreon, as well as the PDF to every other Teaching Tuesday in existence. Yeah, so that's definitely helpful for a lot of you who have commented that this is moving a little bit too fast. You can see it all written out. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for tuning in to another Teaching Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.